Hello everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. You want to know how to win any argument with a narcissist. And in this video, that is exactly what you are going to learn. You're going to learn how to win any argument with a narcissist. So sit down, relax, and get ready for a very informative video. Just taking my jacket off as it is quite warm in here now. But yeah, you want to know how to win any argument with a narcissist? Because I know what it's like. There's always something for them to complain about. They're always arguing about something. And it's not that we don't want to listen or try to understand them. That is the thing, we do try to understand them and listen to them the best that we can. I mean, so many times, how many times do you recall maybe at 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, the first thing when you wake up, you're listening to these hour-long monologues about nothing. It just doesn't go anywhere, it just circles round and around. You're listening, you're trying to understand. It's just this constant word salad, it never goes anywhere. And by the end of it, you just think, what is even the point? So it's not that we're not being empathic, we're not trying to listen to them or understand them. It has nothing to do with that at all. We are good listeners. We do try to understand their point of view and where they are coming from. But a lot of times it's just like these lies, gaslighting, word salad. It just doesn't seem to go anywhere. And it doesn't go anywhere because they're not even seeking a resolution. All they're seeking is validation, attention. They just want you to see them, to hear them, to acknowledge their existence. But it's like, no matter how much you keep your eyes and ears on them, it is never enough. They're never satisfied. You can listen to a narcissist talk about themselves and their problems for hours. And it's just never enough for them. Nothing ever gets resolved. And that is why I decided to create this video this evening, or at least this evening where I am here. And I'm going to tell you how you can win any argument with a narcissist. This is all you have to do. All you need is just this one word. And the one word that you need to win any argument with a narcissist is whatever. Whatever. Yes, that's all you've got to say. I don't know, it may sound very simple, but all that is you are not feeding into the argument. Because this is the mistake that a lot of you make. When you're arguing with a narcissist, that's the problem already. You're arguing. You are wasting your time arguing with a narcissist. No matter what you say, they're not going to understand your point of view. Narcissists are self-absorbed and they lack empathy. It's all about them. It's all about what they think, their perspective, their ideas and opinions. It's about what they believe. It's about their feelings, their wants, desires and needs. It's not about anyone else. It's not about your feelings. It's not about what you want, what you need. It's never going to be about you. So you are wasting your time by arguing with them. It's just going to drain the life out of you. That's all that's going to happen. You can argue with them until the cows come home. You're not going to get the result that you're looking for. Not from them, maybe from someone else, but not from a narcissist. Not from someone who is arrogant and entitled, self-absorbed and lacking empathy. You are not going to get what you want or what you need from them. And they are not going to understand you. No matter how much you may want them to. I mean, that's really the thing a lot of times as well. It's like all of these arguments, and I know what it's like. Of course, I've experienced this so many times. They're just so egotistical, and it's like, can't we just drop the argument? Can't we just forget about it for once, because it never goes anywhere? And you don't want to listen to me. You don't want to understand my point of view, my perspective. It's just all about you, your feelings. Just this endless, biased, one-sided argument that never takes into consideration how I feel or what I want. I know what it's like. When you're with a narcissist, you're conversing with them, you're having a conversation, you're arguing, you're having a disagreement. You just feel completely invisible. It's like, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this, you're just sitting on the couch, maybe you're reading a book, maybe you're playing on your computer, you're on YouTube, maybe you're watching TV, just sitting on the couch, minding your own business, and then whoop, in through the door, in comes the narcissist, and they're standing there, waving their arms around, complaining about something, just going on, and it's just this headache in your ear. It's like, just leave me alone, even for 5 minutes. But they don't stop. And then again, it's like you're laying in bed. Could be at night. Could be 11, 12 o'clock at night. Or maybe they wake you up 2 a.m. Something else. And it could be anything. It could be something so stupid. I mean, it could be something where you forgot to turn on the washing machine. Or maybe you left the balcony or the patio door open. And then they come running into the room, yelling and screaming like somebody's died. And you're just thinking, oh, what's going on? What's the big deal? And then other times they might wake you up first thing in the morning. And it's like, you wonder sometimes, people describe narcissists like zombies. Like they have no energy of their own. Like they're like dead and lifeless. And you're like thinking to yourself, could be at 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe it's 6 a.m. they wake you up, and you're thinking, whoa, where do you get all of this energy from? When you can argue like 24 hours a day, any time of the day. You're ready to argue, ready to fight. But that is just it. All of that energy, that's coming from you. When they're arguing with you, they're shouting, they're yelling, they're screaming. You're watching that. You're listening to it. And it's draining the life out of you. And all of that energy that you're losing, where's that going? It's going to them. It's fueling them. It's giving them narcissistic supply. And if they're doing something and it's giving them supply, trust and believe that they are going to keep doing it. And they're never going to stop. They will poke and prod you. They will push your buttons to find what's going to get a reaction out of you. What's going to make you respond? What's going to make you care? Because when they do that, it's giving them supply. It's transferring your energy to them. And that is why by the end of it, it looks like they feel more alive. And you've just had the life drained out of you. I mean, it's never like, if you imagine if you and I were having a conversation and I might share something, then you might, then I might again, then we just go back and forth, and we're having a good conversation about something that we both enjoy talking about. I mean, that type of conversation, it fuels both of us. It's not going to be one of us is drained. But it is with a narcissist. It's always going to be us. We're always the ones who are going to be drained. And they're going to be fueled at our expense. Because they have a void that they are constantly trying to fill. So we are the ones who end up depleted in the end, because you can interact with them all you like. You can engage with them all day, every day. Not going to make a difference for you. You're not going to get anything out of it. It's a void. It is not going to fuel you. It is not going to give you energy. All it is ever going to do is deplete you. I can tell you that I have never had a conversation with a narcissistic person, at least not with one who is not fully self-aware, where I have felt energized. That just doesn't happen. When you are interacting, engaging, or conversing with a narcissistic person, of course, by the end of it, you are going to feel drained and lifeless. You're going to lose a lot of your energy. You're going to end up feeling confused. Your head's going to be all over the place. You might not even remember what time it is, what day it is. You might not even remember what your name is by the end of the conversation, because of all of the word salad, the gaslighting, all of the crazy things that they do and say. I mean, it's crazy. Have you ever seen the way that these narcissists interact? It's just unreal. It's nothing like a normal person. It's like a wild animal out of a cage. The way they stand there, and they're just flailing their arms around like a crazy person. I mean, who does that? It's like there's no self-composure. They're just all over the place. There's no control. So I get it. And I know some of you may feel guilty. If you're an empath, of course you will. By wanting to win the argument and just using this one word, saying whatever. You might feel bad for doing that because, you know, they want to feel heard. They want you to listen. It's like you've done it so many times, it never goes anywhere. Clearly they're not looking for a resolution. And at some point it's just like, what is even the point in doing this? Where is this going to go? Because we've had this conversation, this argument so many times, and it never goes anywhere. It never resolves anything. It never results in anything favourable for me, or even for you. Even the narcissist doesn't really get anything out of it. It's just, they get their little high, their supply, and that's about it. Other than that, it's like a junkie. Like they're just sniffing a line of coke. Gets them high for a minute. Makes them feel a little bit better about themselves. Distracts them from their pain and shame, from their own misery, as they push it onto you, suffocate you with it, bring you down. I mean, that's the whole objective of it. It's not meant to resolve anything. Especially not resolving anything for you. They don't care about your feelings, your wants, your needs. They don't care about anything that you want. And you can tell, you can just see it. The way that it's always all about them. It's always all about their feelings, their wants, their needs. What you didn't do, what they need you to do for them. By the end of it, you're just drained, you just can't even be bothered. And they always pick the worst times to argue as well. And sometimes you may be suspicious, you may suspect, like, what is going on here? Just got into bed, just laying down, thought I'd get some sleep. Here comes the narcissist, in through the door, standing by the side of the bed, arms flying around everywhere, yelling and screaming. No consideration for me or the neighbours, or the children, if you have any. They're just standing there, complaining as usual. And you're just thinking, what is going on? There was all of this time earlier on throughout the day. Why did you decide to do this now? At this time of night, as soon as I just got in bed? could have done this an hour ago, just before I had a shower. We could have talked about this earlier on when we were having food. No. Why leave it to the last minute just before I sleep? Or why wake me up when I'm sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? Or first thing before I go to work, 6 a.m. Can't even finish a proper sleep. Yeah, you may be suspicious, thinking, is this planned? Is this premeditated? And believe it or not, a lot of times it actually is. Yes. They deliberately pick certain times to have these arguments. When they assume that you're going to be feeling weak, you're not going to have much energy. They know you've had a long day. Maybe you've been working all day, you just got home. You're tired, ready to get some sleep. Or they do it in the morning before you go to work. They wake you up extra early, because they know that's just going to ruin your day. You're going to be tired all day, and then when you get home, they'll be at it again. Makes it easier for them. Yes, they deliberately try to ruin your sleep routine, because by doing that, it weakens you. And then when it comes to an argument, you can't even defend yourself, because you've got no energy left. Yes, they know exactly what they're doing. They're deliberately weakening you and breaking you down. Because not only do they want to argue with you, to get supply, to get reactions, sometimes they actually like it when they see you're sitting there, you just got your head in your hands, like you just can't do it anymore. You don't even want to fight back. It's like you've just given up, you've surrendered to them. Yeah, they actually like that too. Makes them feel powerful, like they've conquered you. It's really sick, I know. This is what they do. And I know what it's like. I've experienced it. I've been there. And sometimes they do just do it deliberately. They have something going on inside of them. This internal chaos in their minds, where they just can't rest. It's this anxiety, maybe even a little depression as well. And they just have to use you as this vessel to carry their pain, their emotions, so that they can elevate themselves at your expense. They're just miserable people. They can't regulate their own emotions. They have to use you as this external regulator. And it is really unfair. The way that we are just used, like these tools, these objects, it affects our sense of self. Because they don't listen to us. They don't even view us as people. They don't want to hear what we have to say. They don't want to make any effort to try to understand us. And that's fine sometimes. I mean, if someone doesn't want to listen to you, they don't want to understand you, that's fine. You can't always force someone to do that. But the worst part is they're always there. It's like they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to understand you or try to share your perspective. And yet they're always there, and it's just always about them. It's always about their emotions, their needs. It's always about their thoughts, their opinions, their perspective, their interpretations, their beliefs. It's just always about them. And it just never stops. It never ends. And at some point, it's just like, just leave me alone. Just stop. I just don't want to hear it anymore. And at this point, I don't even care if I sound selfish. I don't know that's what you're going to say. You're going to call me selfish. After I've listened to you for hours and hours every day, and I haven't even said a word. And then as soon as I stop listening to you, or I expect you to hear my side, yes, then here you come, calling me selfish, saying I only care about myself. You know what that is? That's just a projection. They know what they are. They know exactly what they're doing to you. Of course they know they don't listen to you. They don't even try to understand you. Of course they recognize that. And they don't care. But deep down they do feel some shame for doing that. For not taking the time to listen and understand you. So then they got to project that shame onto you by calling you selfish. And there's really no limit to it. I mean, honestly, I'm sure many of you've experienced this already. You can listen to the narcissist talk for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, with no exaggeration. They could be standing there with their arms flying around, going on and on about nothing. You're just sitting there listening to it all. And then at some point, I mean, it could be like 2 o'clock in the morning. You get up, you say, all right, I've listened to you, I've had enough, I'm going to bed. Whoop, straight away, the narcissist points at you. They're calling you selfish. You only care about yourself. You never listen to them. After you just listen to them go on and on for like 2 or 3 hours, you never said a single word. This is what we're dealing with. It's what it's like, isn't it? I've experienced it. I know many of you have as well. And it's sad. It's like, if they could just keep their mouths shut for a little while. And I know that might sound a bit rude, but we're talking about someone who just goes on and on for hours about themselves, never considers anyone else. So at some point it's like, yes, can you just keep this closed just for a minute and just listen to what I have to say for a change? Because yes, I do have feelings. I am a person. I do have my own opinions. I do have my own wants and needs. I'm not a robot. I'm not an inanimate object. And you wouldn't want me to be that anyway, because then you couldn't get your supply. You want me to feel, you want me to react and to respond, but you don't want to pay attention to any of that. You don't want to respond to it yourself. You just want to use it for your own supply. And yet when you get fed up of listening to them, they've got the nerve to call you selfish. And it's just crazy. It's mind-boggling. How can someone go on and on like that all day, every day? And then you try to think of yourself just for 1 minute. I mean, maybe you're just looking in the mirror in the bathroom. You're doing your hair, brushing your hair, you're brushing your teeth, whatever it is. It's like you just take a 1 minute to yourself. The narcissist comes into the bathroom, they start shouting about something again. It is just insane. You just can't even be yourself. You can't even have 1 minute to yourself. The narcissist is always there. They're always on your case. They never leave you alone. At least not until they're heavily devaluing you, and then they've got another source of supply lined up. And then by that point, you really don't want to listen to what they have to say. Because it's like, how can you argue with me? How can you say anything about me when you've got another source of supply lined up? You've got someone else on the side, and you want to tell me what to do? No, I don't think so. But this is how it is. This is how these narcs are. They're crazy. I mean, they're not completely insane, but they're not far off. The things they do, the things they say, the way that they go on, and it seems like there's just no end to it. Got to turn this heater down a bit. It's getting pretty hot in here now. But it's good because it is very cold here in Japan. So it's good to have a nice warm room. Yeah, how's everyone doing? I haven't paid too much attention to the live chat. I know I went on a bit of a rant there, sharing a bit of my own experiences. I know what it's like with a narcissist. It's just endlessly arguing with you. It's like there's just no end to it in sight. And you really just have to stop feeding into it. Stop giving it all of your attention. Grey rock. But also be aware that, yes, they may ramp it up a bit as well. If they see that they're not getting a response from you, they may try something else. I mean, they will usually just try every trick in their toolbox until they manage to hook you on something. And then once they've got the hook, the bait, then they reel you in. And they've got you. And that's all it's really designed to do. They're never trying to listen to you or understand you. They're just looking for what's going to get a response out of you so that they can get their hit, their narcissistic supply. And then that's it. But yeah, let me know what's going on with you. Let me know your names. Where are you from? Let me know about any arguments you've been having with the narcissist. What's been going on with you? Kyra Official says hi from Indonesia. What's the official? Are you a singer? I haven't been to Indonesia yet. I was recently in Malaysia, which isn't too far away. I may go to Indonesia eventually. Sketchish asks, are you in Japan right now? Yes, I am in Japan. I'm in this town, I think it's called Kochi. I've just been traveling across a few islands, driving in the car. Very expensive though, going through all of the tolls. I must have been through about 5 or 6 tolls in the last couple of days. But it's been worth it though. Really amazing views. Beaches, castles, temples, everything. "1776 Gaming" says that's another good point that you bring up. They can't regulate their own emotions and they start growing emotionally at 13 years old. What age to start growing? 13 of all numbers. Yeah, they can't regulate their own emotions. But I wouldn't say that they all stopped growing emotionally at 13. I mean, actually, from what I've researched, it is quite a bit younger than that. I mean, many narcissists, if you look at it, they never learned empathy. And typically, a child will learn empathy between the ages of 2 and 3. And funny enough, if you look at the narcissist when they experience a narcissistic injury, and then you see their narcissistic rage, they throw a temper tantrum. It's a lot like a 2 or 3-year-old child having a tantrum. So, yeah, it really does seem as though they are emotionally stunted at the development of a 2 or 3-year-old child. Not even as far as a teenager. I mean, if they were emotionally developed to the level of a teenager, then it would probably be a lot easier to converse with them and understand them. Robert Fake says, I can tell narcissists put a lot of effort into their appearance. And even if they're considered attractive by others' standards, it really shouldn't matter to empaths. Yeah, you're right. especially somatic narcissists, they do put a lot of effort into their appearance. But as I've said before, with narcissists, it's all about the false self and the illusion. It's just this false image that they portray to the world to get supply. So anything that people don't see or that doesn't tend to get supply, they don't really pay too much attention to that, which is why their hair could be perfect, their makeup, their clothing, just their overall appearance. But then you may know the narcissist behind the scenes, and they're actually very filthy. They're very dirty. Maybe they don't shower too often. They don't brush their teeth. I mean, I'm sure many of you will know all of that. And yet, at the same time, they present this immaculate image of themselves in public. But it's really all fake. That's just there for them to get supply. They're not doing much when people aren't looking. Lynette says 7 months clean healing. Congratulations, Lynette. Glad to hear that. Yeah, it's great once you have some time away from the narcissist. It's like you really begin to heal. You feel a lot better. Your mind is a lot more clearer. You can finally think for yourself. Everything begins to get better. Once you go no contact and you begin your healing journey. Once you're finally away from them. We got 111 live viewers, only 29 thumbs ups. So if you're finding this video helpful, please show your support. It's very important. Hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps the YouTube algorithm to get this message out there to other survivors. We got Angela Nicoletti. She says from cold, snowy Finland. I believe that's in Northern Europe, is it? I've never actually been there. In Europe, I've only been to France. And obviously, I'm from the UK as well. I've travelled all over the UK, as many of you may know. I've been pretty much everywhere other than Brighton, Norwich and Northern Ireland. Other than that, I've been pretty much everywhere in the UK. I do love exploring, especially my home country. Colton Fish from Sweden. Another place I haven't been. I'd imagine it's very cold there right now. prosperous queen asks, what do you do for work? You're always in beautiful places. This is actually my work, what I'm doing here right now. These videos, I earn an income from the ad revenue. And when people are kind enough to make a donation, that's what allows me to travel and to be able to share these experiences with you. And of course, the traveling is very important to my research and to be able to share this information with you, because it's all about interacting with people from around the world, to really understand human behavior, especially considering that narcissism is now affecting potentially the majority of the world's population. And statistics show that only 1 to 2% of the world's population are empaths. So traveling is definitely a big part of it. And I think it's also inspiring as well for people to see that, yes, I've been through a lifetime of narcissistic abuse. I've experienced all forms of abuse from a very young age, and despite that, I'm still living my life, and I'm still trying to live a positive and righteous life away from evil and immorality. And I'm trying to motivate and inspire other people in the process as well. So, yeah, I think this all-around image that I present is very important for the viewers to see this, to see that I am still able to find peace and happiness in my day-to-day life, that I can travel, I can explore the world despite everything that I have been through. It shows that if it's possible for me, it is possible for you. I'm always seeing this Palestine or Israel. I'm not really one to pick sides. As you may know, I have created a charity in my videos where you can donate for the children in Gaza, because a lot of things have been going on there, especially recently with the war. It's really sad. I've read a few of the articles, seen some photographs, and I don't know if it's maybe because of my own childhood and a lot of the things that I went through. I mean, I've never actually really spoken about what I've actually been through in my childhood. But it's definitely one of the worst of what any child could go through. That's probably why I haven't actually revealed it on this channel, as it could be very disturbing to the viewers. Not so much that I'm not comfortable speaking about it. I mean, I have healed to some level from most of the things that I went through. But yes, I do believe that's why when I read those articles, I saw those photographs, those children. They're injured. Many of them have nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat. I really feel something when I see that. And it made me want to start this charity so that we can donate to this cause. And yes, all of the money, it does go to the children in Gaza. Who are going through this war right now. So if you could donate however much you choose to, it doesn't matter how small it is, I would greatly appreciate that. And I'm sure the children there would greatly appreciate it as well. Just looking through the comments here in the live chat. But yeah, 119 live viewers, only 36 thumbs ups. If you found this video helpful so far, please do give it a thumbs up down below. Very important, it helps the channel. Justin Ram says she was friendly to everyone except me in the relationship. She would invite others on dates without asking me because she didn't want to be intimate with me. Sorry to hear that, Justin. I know what it's like. It's not nice. I mean, this person makes you believe that they want a relationship with you, that they desire intimacy, and they string you along, making you believe that. Reality is they don't really care about that. It doesn't really interest them. They don't feel what we feel. And that actually affects them. Although it may seem like they don't show it, like they don't really care, deep down, yes, they do feel like something is wrong with them. They recognize that they should be able to connect to you, and that they should have the desire to want to be intimate with you. And they feel a lot of shame because of that, which is why they then triangulate you with other people. And they make it look like they're having this intimacy or these dates with other people to try to prove to you that they can do it, when actually that's just another part of the illusion. They're just further trying to manipulate you and punish you for everything that you saw wrong with them. because you recognize that, yes, they can't be intimate, and they don't like that. They don't like how that makes them feel. So don't worry too much about that, Justin. It's always an illusion with these narcs. I mean, you just got to think, if they can have these dates and be intimate with someone else, why couldn't they do that with you? They couldn't do it because they envied you. They envied your ability to be intimate. So then they want to go off and punish you by acting like they could be intimate with someone else, when in reality they can't. If they could, they would have done that with you. I've experienced it before. Only once. Only in one relationship, to my knowledge. There was one narc where there were times when I might try to kiss her and then she would pull away. And we'd go out for a romantic dinner. And then when the waiter came over, she would like point at the candle and laugh and say, "He likes it." So I know what it's like. And it is very hurtful. Especially if you like this person and you want to experience intimacy and romance with them, but they just can't do it. They're very broken. Something happened to them a long time ago when they were children. They didn't get the love they needed from their parents, so they can't receive that love from you now. I hope that helps, Justin. Rosalind Craig asks, can they get help? Has a narcissist ever gotten better? It's funny because different people say different things. I mean, I've seen some videos from Dr. Ramani and Richard Grannon. They've said they've never seen anyone recover from NPD. And as far as I know, there is no cure for NPD. But that being said, there are quite a few self-aware narcissists who are on YouTube right now. I mean, there's one who's probably one of the first people to ever speak about narcissists, which is, of course, Sam Vaknin. He is a diagnosed narcissist and a self-proclaimed psychopath. But I did contact him not too long ago. I requested to do an interview with him, and I wanted to speak about how is it possible that he's a self-aware narcissist when one of the main traits is that narcissists are not self-aware. Funny enough, he declined to do that interview. But can they get help? from what I've seen on YouTube, I mean, there's one narcissist who's meant to be self-aware. His name is Lee Hammock. And there's another one as well. I can't remember his name. And there's also someone that I've been speaking to recently. His name is Jack. And I'm going to be doing an interview, a live interview on YouTube with him very soon. And he is also a diagnosed NPD. And yeah, he's been having therapy for the last few years, as have Lee Hammock and the other one on YouTube. So they most definitely can get help. They don't tend to go to therapy on their own. It's usually if they're experiencing some form of crisis in their life and they feel like their only option is to go to therapy to keep their supply, their job, their family, whatever it is. So they go to therapy, and then after a few months, they're having to accept that yes, it is them. And they are being diagnosed with the disorder. Of course, this is very rare, but it can happen. Don't assume that it will happen with a narcissist that you are dealing with, because as I said, it is very rare, it's very unlikely. Most of them will never become self-aware. Maureen Schmidt says, I finally decided that I'd rather be a lonely old lady. Sorry to hear that, Maureen. I know I make these messages every day about narcissists, but honestly, the last thing I want for anyone is to be lonely and old. Of course, I don't want to see that. What I want for everyone is to be able to move on past these narcissists and to find someone who really loves and appreciates you. Nothing could make me happier than to receive an email from you where you're saying that you have moved on, you've healed, you've met someone who loves you, who respects you, who wants the best for you. Honestly, nothing would make me happier than that. And I don't know, maybe it's because it goes back to my childhood again. All of the things that I experienced, one of which was when I was very young. I must have been 3 or 4 years old. My parents had a divorce. Of course, that's a very traumatic experience for a child to go through. So maybe it's kind of healing for me to see two good people, especially those who have experienced narcissists. They've been through this. And then for us to move on and find someone who loves and cares about us. It's just an amazing thing. It's really beautiful. And I want that for all of you. For everyone who is watching this right now. hope that you will all move on and have a healthy relationship with someone, and not just be alone, not just stay to yourself. I mean, that is the saddest thing in the world to me. To think that someone has been so hurt, so traumatized, that the narcissist just affects, they have power over your entire life, to where you don't move on, you don't even try again, you're not willing to trust anyone. I mean, if that happens, you're just letting the narcissist win. Well, that means that I have failed at my job. If you don't move on, if you're not in a healthy relationship where you're happy with someone else, that means that I have failed. That's what that means. Angela is mentioning about my meditation. Yes, a few years ago, I remember I did 2 meditation videos. I was going to do more. I'm not sure how many views those meditation videos got, but I may do more again. I'll take a look at it, and if there's the demand, then of course, why not? I will do more. It can be very relaxing and healing. I'll also have a few more pre-recorded videos coming very soon. We'll be uploading the first one. It should be within the next few days. The content is going to change dramatically on the channel. Of course, the live videos will still be the same, but the regular videos are going to change. I'm going to be much more involved in the content. If you've just joined us, please hit that thumbs up button down below. Very important, very helpful to our community. Thank you. Just looking through this live chat, there's a lot of comments here. It's good to see conversation. People have the support with other viewers on here as well. That's what it's about. It's good to have this community. Angela says when they are intimate, it is robotic. Yeah, that's very true, and that's really sad when you think about it. I mean, even with all of the arguments, it's like you think, all right, yes, let's just get through this argument, or let's just drop it and let's just be intimate instead. Maybe you can just get some relief from that. Nope. Because they can't even really be intimate. As Angela said there, yes, it's always robotic. You never feel like you're connected to them. You never feel like they're actually seeing you. They're hearing you, like they actually recognize that you're even there, that you even exist. It's always just about them. And sex and intimacy is no different. If you desire true intimacy, sex with a narcissist is just completely boring. For them, it's just about control. It's narcissistic supply. They're not really physically or sexually attracted to you or anyone else. It's just a means to get supply. And for you, you may be desiring closeness. It's like when you're trying to be intimate, you want to put your arms around them. You want to kiss them, and they're just pulling away. They just don't want to do it. There's nothing for them. Or it disgusts them. And I mean, what kind of experience is that? It's no good. It's just not human. It's not like you're dealing with a real human at all, is it? Janat says, hi, I am a Bangladeshi girl. Nice to meet you, Janat. I've actually dated a few Bangladeshi girls myself. Not for a while, though. I've also got Sujata from India. Nice to meet you, Sujata. Welcome to the channel. And Nothing from India as well. Unusual name. John Tracy says they flirt with every male in public in front of you. Oh, I know. I remember that so many times. I've experienced that with narcissistic women all the time. And it's like they do it to kind of shame you and to make you feel like something is wrong with you or you're not good enough. When in fact it's actually the opposite. It just shows how human you are. You're not a robot like them. You actually feel. And the reason why they're doing it, it may be unconscious at times, but once I explain it, you will recognize it from this point on. They do this. They flirt with other people in front of you. They triangulate you. Especially after they discard you, they act like they got off now. They're living their best life with someone else. They're doing all of that because you wanted more from them. You expected more because you thought you were dealing with a real human being rather than a robot. And they just couldn't do it. They couldn't open up to you. They couldn't be vulnerable. They couldn't be intimate. They have an inability to do that. They abandoned their true selves a long time ago. All they've got is just this false character. The false character cannot be vulnerable. And then they start to feel a lot of shame because deep down they know that something is seriously wrong with them. They know that they should be able to connect and be intimate with you. Yes, they know that they should be able to do that. So when you're pressing them and you're expecting this from them, they feel a lot of shame. They recognize that something is seriously wrong with them. And then they try to deflect it onto you by flirting with other people in front of you, by triangulating you with someone, to try to prove to you that, no, in fact, it's you. They can do it with someone else, just not with you. But what they're doing with other people is fake. And you've injured their pride and ego just by expecting intimacy from them. So of course, by that point, they don't even want to fake it with you. They probably know that they can't. They know that you will see right through it. They know you're not going to be susceptible to it. So that's why they do that. All right, I think that's good for this video. It's been quite a long evening, 76 minutes. But as always, I do enjoy speaking with you, reading and responding to your comments. It's great to have this community where we can share together, where we can understand each other. Because of course there's no understanding with these narcs, is it? But yes, if you found this video helpful, please hit that thumbs up button down below. It's very important, as it helps the YouTube algorithm to get this message out there to other survivors as well, so that it can benefit them and then they can gain some understanding from it. So very important, yes, hit that thumbs up button down below if you found this video helpful. Show your support and let me know what you think about this video. Let me know about any arguments you've had with a narcissist in the comment section down below. Let me know if you tried my advice, what I've mentioned in this video, and if it worked for you or not. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below as well and click all notifications so that you will be notified when I upload a video. And if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session with me, that service is now available to you. You could just go to my website, it is narcsurvivor.co.uk, and book a one-on-one session with me on there. You can also follow me on Instagram, it is Narc Survivor YouTube. I do have pictures and videos of my travels, which I post every day on there. Thank you all for watching. And as always, I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon.